Hi guys, it's Makeup by Claude, and I'm making my second video in a series I'm creating called Beginner Friendly, where I show you guys how to use different makeup products and how to use makeup tools and etc, etc. But in this video we're going to be covering on how to use different makeup tools and what are some essential things you have to have, whether you're a person trying to go for a full face or you're trying to just do a basic clean girl everyday look. We're having a little bit of a bad hair day, but I'm still here to make this video. Let's start. So first off, you're going to have a beauty blender. Very popular, and she's popular for a reason. Who would have thought a sponge would do so much? How do you use one, right? Oh, but first, before I go over that, you need to know how to buy a beauty blender, because there is a way how to buy one, okay? First off, you should never overpay for a beauty blender or underpay. What do I mean by that? You should really never pay over $3 for a beauty blender, because essentially it's just a sponge, okay? Underpaying. Some bad quality beauty blenders, you'll notice they're very rough. Even when you soak them and you squeeze them out to properly use them, they're rough to the touch, okay? They have a gritty texture and it won't give you proper coverage of foundation. You'll get a patchy look. So it's good that you pay for at least maybe $2 for maybe a 2-pack or somewhere like a Walmart or a drugstore and get a decent quality one. How do you use a beauty blender? All you're gonna do is soak it underneath the faucet for a little while, some water, squeeze it out. It should be nice and wet, you squeeze it out. Afterwards, take a paper towel or a cloth or maybe some shirt you don't like to wear, take it, wring it out in there. Then take it again, wring it out. You need to wring it out twice with a cloth or a paper towel before you're ready to go. How do you know you're ready to use your beauty blender? How? It's going to be moist, not wet. It'll be moist. After that, take any foundation you want. Here is the Halo Glow e.l.f. liquid filter. I personally didn't like this product. As an oily person, it just made me too shiny. I didn't know that before I bought it. I did, but you know the hype. So I went ahead and bought it. So for this product, I would literally apply it to my face. I don't like to apply this to the back of my hand. It's kind of lightweight, it's buildable. And with my moist beauty blender, I would go all over. And I would start patting it in. So that's it for your beauty blender. Next item I think you would need, eyelash curler. Now the king of kings when it comes to eyelash curlers is the brand Shiseido. But if you're not willing to pay for that, or you don't need it, like me, I feel like my eyes are regular size, they're like normal looking every day. I don't feel like I need all that. So me, I just bought one from e.l.f. You can get it from any off-brand for the most part. And when you're using your eyelash curler, you need to be not heavy-handed. You need to be calm, you need to have a sturdy hand. I really go as far to say that you don't even really need a mirror. It's not necessary, to be honest. All you need to do, like I said, have a sturdy hand, be calm, look straight ahead. You would put it on your eyelid, and you'll see when you put it on your eyelashes will stick out. Eyelashes will stick out from the front. Obviously, I have on makeup and they're curled, but you'll see my eyelashes sticking out from the front. You press down, gently, hold it there. 3 seconds tops. When you're starting out, it's very hard. Don't be heavy-handed. Hold it there. 1, 2, 3, let go. You don't need to push and hold very aggressively, hold very tightly. No, no, no. Lightly. Lightly. You lightly hold it. 3 seconds on each eye, you're good to go. Preferably, I like to do it before I'm doing a full face or after I've applied concealer or eyeshadow primer. But as you go, you'll figure out which way you like it. Moving on to our next thing. The next thing I say you really do need is a Velour powder puff. I have 2 different kinds. Here's an off-brand one. You can see it's nice, kind of furry looking. It's really nice. I like this one more actually than the e.l.f. one. Here's the e.l.f. one I bought. You can see the texture is a little bit more gritty, you know, and I've used it obviously for some foundation. But you might be asking, what's the purpose of this? Why do I need it? It's in the name. Powder, 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 pup. You're going to need it for setting powder. Right here I have the Fenty setting powder. Right here I have some e.l.f. Finishing HD powder. And how would you apply that? You're going to apply your powder. I'm going to show you on this one how I would do it with the finishing powder. Well, actually I would use more of the Fenty, but whatever, this is just an example. I would take this powder, I would pat, okay? I would place it underneath my eyes. I pat, I would pat. And actually guys, after you get the product out, you're gonna really go on the back of your hands. I meant to say that in the beginning. You're gonna go on the back of your hands, get that excess off before you start patting, because you don't want too much product on your face. So once again, I made a mistake. You'll pat here, pat on the back of your hands, and then go in. And you would just do this all over your face, different spots maybe you have. Most people like to sculpt their jaw out and they like to bake, but that's for another video. But personally, I like to carry them with me. I actually prefer the off-brand one I bought versus the e.l.f. one. And for me being oily, I don't carry any matte powder with me. I don't want a really heavy bag. I just carry it with me in my pouch, and I'll just use this because I already used it when it has setting powder on it. And I'll just pat my nose, pat my T-zone, anywhere that's oily. Today I didn't wear any foundation, so I didn't bring it with me. But that's how you use your Velour powder puff. Very good item. Next item. None other than a Spoolie duo brush. Now, in case you're like, oh, I don't want to buy that. Good luck for everybody, because if you own an eyebrow pen, you already have one. Your Spoolie is necessary because oftentimes you need to brush up your eyebrows, brush them up, so they'll look nice. Eyebrows, as you know, can make or break your face. Imagine me without eyebrows. Imagine me with thin eyebrows. Imagine me with thick eyebrows. Well, yeah, I've done them all, and they all give me a different look, different aura. So you need to make sure you have one of these. Now, with your spoolie, the next thing you're gonna need, and keep in mind, all these brushes are e.l.f. There's the e.l.f. set. You can get them at the drugstore or order them online. There's a set for like $16. You get 10 brushes. I use these on clients. And you're gonna need a brush, eyeshadow. And you would take this, you would dip it in your powder. For me, I like to use black and brown, back and forth. Brown, black, brown, black. You would tap, tap, tap. Go, lift your eyebrow, go back and forth throughout the brow, back and forth. So you can have a look that's not too intense, but not too subtle. It needs to look natural, it needs to be well blended. You oftentimes don't want your front to look too intense, because if your front looks way too intense, it'll throw off the back. Okay, depending on different eyebrow shapes, you'll have to change that, but that's the standard for most. And that's essentially how you use it. Use the spoolie, brush your eyebrows up into a reasonable shape. Most people, they prefer to use an eyebrow pen. So you would use an eyebrow pencil. Okay, you would draw in your eyebrow pencil. You would get your spoolie, phase it out a little bit, reduce it. Then lastly, afterwards, you would go in with your eyebrow powder. That's of course if you use powder. I know I like to, that's me. Go in with your powder. Take it, apply some, run back and forth, then you're done. I like to seal everything with the gel, but right now we're focusing on makeup tools. So that's the duo spoolie, or either you can have it on, you can use it just like this, or either you can go an extra step and buy a cheap pack of spoolies. All right, need a spoolie, need a spoolie. 2, eyeshadows. We all love eyeshadows. Well, most people, not everybody. Eyeshadows are good for giving the eye dimension, color, all sorts of things. Here is an old, and I mean old, Ellen Tracy palette I bought from Marshall's. Old. If the makeup expires, use it. I'm a part of those people, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Really, if it works, it's not giving you any problems, you're not having any reactions, no reason to throw it out, honestly speaking. So, in this palette, you see I have a flat brush. And keep in mind, guys, eyeshadow brushes, they come in all different shapes and sizes. Your finger is nice. Sometimes you don't want to use your finger. Let me show you guys some different variations of eyeshadow brushes. Here I got some more. You can see this one, the head is a lot bigger. That would show you that I'm trying to cover a larger area of the eye. That's why the brush would be bigger. This one's really, really small. So that shows I would try to use it in smaller areas. And then this one is kind of medium sized. I'd probably use this to pack on different shimmer shadows or different stuff for a smoky eye. Same thing with this one. You can see it's kind of flat looking, I would use that probably to pat the shadow on. And so eyeshadow brush is good for those reasons I explained. Use it for any sort of look. Latest here, eyeshadows. And yeah, later I'll have a video showing how to use eyeshadow. Moving on, concealer brush. Now, a lot of people use their fingers for concealer. I understand. Let me show you what you would do. And these are like more so extra. Don't necessarily need it, but it'd be nice. Okay, so how would you do that? Right here I have my Bye Bye Under Eye It Cosmetics Concealer. I would usually take this, squirt a little bit on the back of my hand. Take my pinky, swipe 1, 2, 3, 4. Swipe 1, 2, 3, 4. I would get a little bit more of that concealer, put it on the back of my hand, swipe all around my eyelid, swipe all around my eyelid. From then on, you can either blend with your pinky, but since we're in the tool section, I'm going to suggest my tool. You're going to take your concealer brush, pat, down. You're going to move in a downward motion, kind of. Downward, 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 downwards. To the side, to the side, to the side. You see what I'm saying? You move it by the area you're in. But you will use a downward motion to the side. After you've covered your whole eyelid, you're good to move on to the next step. Now here's something extra I want to throw in. If you don't want to use an concealer brush or you don't want to use your pinky, you can also go the extra mile and get a beauty blender, concealer beauty blender, essentially. Now, notice it looks like a diamond, right? And that's for you to get in those tight spots, like in there. But essentially, it's a beauty blender made for concealing. So you would use it just like I said, for concealing. So you would take it, pat, 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 get in there, stab, stab, pat, 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 and you would go in. Flawless concealer brush. Now, how are you going to use this? We already applied our concealer with the concealer brush. What does this one do? Let me explain it to you. So, once again, we're going back with that finishing powder. Whatever finishing powder you have. I showed you guys I use the Fenty. Sometimes I use the e.l.f. finishing powder. Take the finishing powder. Tap it, tap it, tap it. It's going to be a lot on the brush. The brush will pick up a lot. You don't need that much. You're going to tap, tap, tap. Tap it on anything around. Tap it on the pan. Tap it on the back of your pan. If you want to, you need to tap all that product off. And you'll notice it'll look kind of smoky. From then on, you'll blend, 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 blend all your under eyes. You want your under eyes to look silky, matte. There shouldn't be a dark circle anywhere nearby. Blend, 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 blend. If you have any oily areas that you know you're usually oily in, go underneath your chin, your nose, your T-zone. That's it. You would blend. Now, I'm back to my beauty blenders. I could either, for under eyes, this is back with the powders, I could either take the beauty blender specifically made for concealer and use it in those areas. I could tap it in my powder, tap off a little bit. I could actually go in with that. Okay, I could bake with it. Or I could use this one too. I could use this angle, go in, or I could use this angle. you can find out different ways to use your tools. Okay, that's that. Lastly, some more additional items. This is an ultimate blending brush. You see they're both shaped a little different, but you essentially do the same thing with them. I can either use powder foundation with this brush, okay, or I can do liquid foundation with this brush. I could put on blush with this brush, or I could put on bronzer with this brush. I can use contour with this brush. It's multi-dimensional, okay? But I'll tell you what I usually like to do. I like to take a liquid foundation, put it on my face, and then I'll blend all over. With the other brush, same thing. Like I said, you could use that for contour and your hairline. You can use it for blush, okay? Bronzer. It is up to you. But these large, big brushes, you can use them sometimes for just finishing powder after you're done. You can use it to wipe away after you've baked your jawline, right? You can use it to brush away. It's up to you, but these brushes, you can use them different types of ways. You don't have to use it one way at all. So, yeah. All right. Lastly, here is a contour brush. Once again, contour depends on each person. For me, when it comes to my nose, I like to make my nose slim like most people. Sometimes I'll just take a little dap of a contour on my finger, cream contour. I'll go up and down my nose just like this, blend it out with my fingers, and then it'll give me the result. Some people, they prefer a brush. Now, typically with this type of brush, you can use it with powder contour or cream contour after you apply it, or you can apply it to your brush, whichever. You would go on your jawline like this, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You would have your foundation on, you would blend this out. You'll blend it all out, blend it out. You can use it on your nose too. Come down, up and down, up and down. You can put it on the side of your bones right here, on your cheekbone. You can put it on your cheekbone. You could blend it out all around your hairline as well. You can use it many different ways. That's basically all the items, guys. I'm going to be making show some things that you really do need if you're starting off doing your makeup. So I hope you enjoyed it. I intend to bring you guys more content.